anyone familiar with Doctor Who is familiar with the idea of a sort of a great tutor to
Mhm.
humanity, someone who's
Yes.
here to assist humanity's progress, and a being that can incarnate in a succession of human avatar bodies. And
Mhm.
that's how you describe Thoth. Tell
Yeah,
us a bit more about that idea and what that means for how long Thoth was on planet Earth with us.
man. He has this thing called the Halls of Amenti. And so the Halls of Amenti is this amazing place that I believe I discovered one of them in Egypt, which I'm going back again to document it even more in October of this year. There's many halls of Amenti. The one I found, I believe, is his father's Enki or Ptah. But the one that he used was underneath the Great Pyramid. Now, what's interesting is about 4.5 years ago now, they found these halls underneath the Great Pyramid. They're all empty now, but these are these giant halls that were engineered and they go on for miles. Pretty interesting. Now, in these halls, he had these chambers. He called them rejuvenation chambers, and he would actually create bodies or create these avatar bodies, not from cloning other people, but actually creating his own clones. How the particular process or technique,
Mhm.
nobody really knows. But then what he would do is he would transfer his consciousness into one of these avatar bodies. He said he would walk amongst men, but unlike a man. You wouldn't even know that he was walking around in this bodysuit, basically. And then while he was doing that, other bodies that he had already used in the past were be put back into these different chambers that he had. He had many of them, and they would sit there for 100 years. So every 100 years, he'd go back and hop in a new body. He's done that 10 times 100. I mean, the guys, that's just 10,000 years alone right there. But if you look at the time frame in between that he waits to go and get another body and add it all together, it's getting close to 100,000 years. We're talking about beings that have discovered a way of obtaining immortality by transferring their consciousness, which is what we're doing right now. In Russia, they transferred a monkey's consciousness with the 2045 project into a computer. The monkey's body is gone dead. The monkey is still alive in the computer. And by 2045, they want to be able to do that with humans. A human, take a cell from a human, turn it into a stem cell, which they can do now, then clone your body to the age specified with no disease in it, then transfer your consciousness into that new avatar body. So it's pretty interesting that we're getting to that level. We're kind of rediscovering what already happened in the ancient past.
Indeed. I was going to ask, you talked about the idea of Thoth walking among humans without being spotted, moving around inconspicuously.
Mhm.
Do you believe that that relates to our experiences today? Do we have company from elsewhere in the cosmos or from other dimensions that we're not spotting because it's
Yeah.
moving around inconspicuously?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's a good show that just came out on Amazon Prime. It's called The Man That Fell to Earth. It's a remake of an old classic. And what I like about this remake is they really put a great spin on it. And you can see that this alien being from another planet coming here to look for technology to help his home planet that he could create over there. But he's walking around in a humanoid suit. In other words, the skin and everything else that's on his body that makes him look human is actually his spacesuit. And so it's pretty. There's so many. I like the way that they kind of twit. He's not walking around in something that appears to be technological. It looks
Yes.
biological. And so I believe right now that there are beings walking amongst us, completely cloaked in these humanoid bodysuits, and able to speak and interact. And you would never even know you were sitting down next to or talking to a person that wasn't even of this world. And just like we do when we go to the wilderness, like you see on a National Geographic, a show where we go out into the wilderness and we begin to hide in these what they call hides, and we videotape these animals, and we put hidden cameras inside of their den so we can check them out. We want to monitor them and watch how they live and how they thrive or don't thrive. And then we even alien abduct these animals by shooting them with a dart, tranquilizing them. Now they have lost time. We take them away to a laboratory. We take fluids from them. We inject an alien tracking device in them. We put them back in the wild. It's the same thing happening to us.
It is. It's exactly the same thing. It's a little bit lowering when you sort of wake up to the possibility that we might be some mid-ranking species in the great cosmic family, and it
Yeah.
takes people a bit of adjusting to. But I've come to that conclusion, and I hear that echoed in ancestral narratives, world mythology from all around the world.